But the pop out line I thought was necessary. Like, he's reminiscing on everything that he sat back and watched. So
I saw the debate. Was that about Bron or DeMar? Or both?
Listen, man, if you ask those two gentlemen, I think they both feel like it's about them, right?
Drake. Hey, we about to see what Rory and Ma had to say about Drake's new song. What did I miss? Make sure y'all like the video and subscribe. Let's get it.
I mean, great record. Great song to come back with. Great sentiment. I think he addressed a lot of his feelings coming out of last year. Well, some of his feelings. Not a lot of them, but some of them, I'm assuming. Yeah, it's good music. I think that's what Drake is getting back to. Just make some good music. Last year we had obviously one of the biggest moments in our culture's history. And him coming out of it, feeling the way he feels and looking back at things. I guess this is the song that he sat in the studio and this is what he came up with. So this was the sentiment. What did I miss? And yeah, I like it. Good music.
Yeah, I know. I think it's a cool record. And this is just going to be more like overthinking it for not just for the sake of conversation, but just I like to overthink records. Would it have been better if it was just more open-ended and generic? Like, because I think the hook is incredible. I think everyone can relate to that. Like, I think it was really only the pop out line where I was like, either do it or don't. Like, either go all the way back in and let's go round 19 on this entire thing, or just make this record's already there. Like, the hook is there. Everything's great about it. I just don't know if like the pop out part was necessary, because then it brought everyone back to talking about this fucking battle again instead of just a great record.
Newsflash, Rory.
It's
no
never
matter
go away.
what Drake does for the rest of his life.
Okay, that's a fair point.
They're gonna bring up that battle.
Yeah,
I just get that out. This could have been a straight R&B song. No matter what he does for the rest of his career, somebody is gonna find a line somewhere to attach it to the battle.
Yeah.
But the pop out line I thought was necessary. Like, he's reminiscing on everything that he sat back and watched. So
I saw the debate. Was that about Bron or DeMar? Or both?
Listen, man, if you ask those two gentlemen, I think they both feel like it's about them, right? Like,
double entendre.
Tyler may feel like it's about him, like it's a few people that was there. Yeah, may feel like it was about them. So it's kind of like, if it applies, wear it. That's all.
But yeah, I mean, I think it's a catchy record. I like the beat switch. It was a cool record.
Yeah,
like I don't really want to overthink it. Like, that was kind of just the only thought I had outside of this is catchy and this will probably work for the summer.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's definitely gonna work.
But do you think this would be the one to pass Michael Jackson? Because I like the record. I just don't think it's one of those.
You don't think this is gonna be number one?
I don't know. Even for Drake, number one records are not as easy as people think they are. Like, overall, it's for hip hop. Sure, yeah, it'll be number one. But an overall number one record is a very, very difficult thing to do. Like, look at the last number one Drake had, First Person Shooter. Like, that's a legendary song. That's a classic record. It's tough to get number ones. I don't know if this will be the one though. I could be wrong.
First Person Shooter, to me,
I was shocked it went number one.
Exactly.
Like, I was really shocked.
I'm not shocked that this is going to be a number one record. First Person Shooter, to me, definitely still to this day, I can't believe it went number one.
Wait,
because that was like a rap record.
Oh, that's why you didn't. Okay, I just wanted to clarify, because I was like genuinely confused. Like, that's a fucking
it's a classic record, but like
no, it's
such a hip hop record. Like,
yeah, but that's like rap. Like, you understand what I'm saying? That's like really, really just two MCs rapping on that record. Like, for that to be number one like that, like, I didn't think that would be number one.
Even like when Cole goes number one, it's with Miguel. Like, it's tough to go number one with rap.
Well, that was Cole's first number one, so he's never went number one before. But I mean, I get that, but I also, he's also the reason the record went number one. It doesn't go number one without him.
No, we don't.
What are we doing?
Damaris, you think you can prove that?
No one can prove. You can't prove something that you can't prove.
He doesn't have a number one. He does not have any other number one. That's how it's proven.
Okay, I didn't say that it would go number one without Drake, but I also don't think it goes number one without Cole. I think them together, meshed together, is what made that record so good. I don't think that's a wild statement to say.
If somebody doesn't have any other number one for you to put that against, I think that is a very wild statement for you to say.
For me to say that them together made the record is good.
No, it's not what you said. You said without Cole, that
it doesn't go number one. Because the best part of that song is, Drake would say the best part of that song is Cole. We're like, that was the most memorable part of the record when it dropped.
Okay.
Am I making this up? Like,
No, I just think
are we rewriting
I just think it's
history?
like a hard thing to even
Prove.
debate. All right, so if Cole's not on it, is it a blank verse? No, it's not going to like.
No. Her statement was that record doesn't go number one without Cole.
I personally don't think that record.
Cole doesn't have a number
Jay-Z
one
doesn't
record.
get his number one without Alicia Keys, but they both like delivered.
You missing what I'm saying. If an artist does not have a number one record, how can you make a statement that if he wasn't on that record, it wouldn't go number one?
Well, everyone gets their first number one. Well, not everyone, but to have a number one record means you got a first one without proof that you could get one.
You still not answering my question.
If Cole was the standout on the record,
if you don't have any number one records in your catalog, Rory,
okay,
and you have a song with me, I have probably 80 number one records.
Okay,
however many. We're not who's counting at this point, right? You would make the statement that if I wasn't on that song, it wouldn't have went number one.
No, I just think they both complement each other. I think there's been plenty of times where
we know that they both. It's a great
singer has done a hook that didn't have a number one record and it went number one.
It's a great
because
song.
Of their hook.
It's a great song. We know that they both complement each other well. I'm asking you the statement of saying if this person who doesn't have any number one songs, if he wasn't on this record, it wouldn't go number one. Is that a fair statement?
I said to both you guys, I think it's not a fair statement on either side. It's a weird thing to even debate.
Especially when you don't have any other number one records.
Sure.
Exactly.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. But back to you, Baby D. I'm sorry.
Delivered on.
I lost my train of thought, child. Anyway, first person shooter was amazing. It was an amazing song. I was just wondering why you didn't think that it should have went number one. You said it was rappy rap. I think the only person that was super rapping like in a way that songs don't go number one when you rap like that is Cole. Drake didn't really get into a super rap bag on that song. Drake made it like a song. He didn't really go super rappy.
Even the way he rapped on that, I wouldn't say are similar to what Drake's number one records have been. It was a very hip hop record to me. That's why I was shocked. That's all.
Okay, we can agree.
I mean, I think it's great that a record like that can go number one, but a rappy rap record like that, you're going to need Drake and J. Cole to make that go number one.
For sure.
In that sense, because like I don't know too many rappy rap records that have ever went number one. Is there any? Like rappity rap songs?
Maybe Lose Yourself.
Yeah. Okay. Also, Eminem.
I'm now.
It's cheat code.
It's rap. He rapping though.
It's cheat code.
Rappity rap.
But that's true.
That's all.
Yeah.
I'm looking up rap songs that went number one on Billboard, but you guys can keep going. Sorry.
So Josh had asked in our New Rory Mall Twitter community what people were thinking of the new Drake record. Somebody said, I have grudges for bitches from the 6th grade. So yeah, I too will never shut the fuck up about someone I consider a friend doing me wrong. Immediately added to my workout playlist. Yeah, it's relatable. Great beat, but after a couple listens, he still don't realize we want more substance from him. Like, first, all right. Why every song doesn't have to have fucking substance? And by the way, that song does have substance on it. It's just like a catchy record, so you purposely dumb things down for melody. But what? Like that's just. I'm just. Everyone's opinions are off to me today. That's all. Like why?
All right, so shout out to the Rory and Maul podcast. I want to address some of the commentary. Now, look, I heard Rory talking about when he heard the pop out line, he didn't like it because it brought up the beef over and over again. And some people might say Rory is constantly bringing up the beef on the podcast in general. But okay, he felt like when Drake used that line, it was awakening the beef once again. But in my opinion, when I heard that line, I didn't even think about Kendrick. I thought about the fallout. I thought about everything that happened after the beef. I thought about the people who Drake thought switched up on him during the beef. To me, it wasn't this thing like it arose the beef from the dead, like the beef was a mummy and Drake just call him all, and now all of a sudden we back into the beef and everybody's talking about Drake versus Kendrick. It wasn't that serious to me. It wasn't that serious to me. I felt like the line was addressing his own personal relationships, not necessarily trying to get back into the beef. Now, yeah, it is people out there that might take it that way and start some deep conversation about, what Kendrick did to Drake and how he, manipulated his buddies and pulled them on his side and all that stuff. But that's for people who really want to get that deep. For me, I'm just like, was it about DeMar DeRozan? Was it about LeBron? And I'm ready to move on. I don't think every time something that happened in the beef is brought up, it needs to be this deep conversation about, oh my God, y'all talking about the beef again. No, I don't think it was that serious. He said Brown was at the pop out. He felt some type of way. And then the rest of the song, he continues to talk about basically the same stuff. People who he had a relationship with, who, you know, essentially switched up on him or are cool with people who tried him, as he said. So, you know, I think Rory went a little too overboard with that take, but, you know, that's cool. The second thing, we got to get to Damaris talking about first person shooter. And this is what I really want to talk about. So before I did the commentary, I listened to first person shooter. Cause sometimes it's easy to forget everything about a song. And so I was almost ready to agree with Damaris when she said, you know, Cole was on there really rapping. And I saw some people in the comments on Twitter talking about, yeah, that's right, Damaris. J. Cole was in there spitting and Drake, he didn't even really get into his bag like that. And so the first half of the song, I'm like, yeah, Cole, you're killing it. All right. Because I'm like, I don't remember Drake going hard. And then I remember at the end of first person shooter, Drake got into his bag. And he did a whole beat change. And he really got into his little tough swag, the little gangster Drake, when he put the bandana on and he put the, you know how you get the haircut in your eyebrows? That's what he did. He got the stripes in his eyebrow on the second part of first person shooter. And it was a bop. I can't sit here and say that Drake wasn't rapping on that song. And Damaris talking about like Drake made it a song. She made it seem like, Drake was singing a hook or something like that. It was really almost like a you go and I go type of song. And that was it. It was kind of like that song Drake did with Future back in the day where, he did a verse and then Future did a verse and that was it. No hook. Now they do constantly talk about biggest Super Bowl, but I think that's basically what they did on that song. It was just like 2 verses and that was it. They both was rapping. I don't think I could just say J. Cole is the reason that song went number 1. And partially because of the points that Maul brought up. I know we all like to say, Maul is nut hugging Drake all the time. But facts are facts. J. Cole doesn't have a number 1 other than first person shooter. And yeah, he contributed a lot to this record. And he starts off the record. And, really, I feel like when a beat change happens, if the beginning of the record isn't good, the beat change don't hit the same. So I can say, J. Cole accomplished that. He made you want to listen to the whole song so you can get to the Drake part. But it's not like I can say Drake didn't deliver or he half-assed that second part of that song. He didn't. And not to mention, it's a really good sample. Both of the beats are really good, but you start off cold with the sample beat. You start him off with the oh. If you a hip hop fan, you know what that type of sample do. Okay? It's almost like a cheat code. And that verse, just when we talking about J. Cole verses, to me, that's not as good as the Johnny P's Caddy verse. To me, that might be one of the best verses J. Cole ever rapped. On that feature he did with Benny the Butcher, I like the verse he did with 21 Savage a while back. Like, Cole been on a feature run that's crazy. I like that verse he did with Summer Walker recently. So, it might be a couple of songs on Forest Hill Drive where he had better verses That boy said, what's the price on a black man's life? I checked the toe tag. Not 1 0 in sight unless he dribble while he fiddle with mics. We not going to act like that first person shooter verse is one of J. Cole's best verses either, okay? I think without Drake, that song doesn't go number 1. I'm just being honest with you, okay? And J. Cole has had some songs I felt like should have went number 1. Also, I don't know, because I know We Like to Party, that went number 1 with Beyonce, right? Now, I know that wasn't his own record, but he can still count that as a number 1. I know We Like to Party had to go number 1. But anyway, that's my take on that. And yeah, I do think What Did I Miss is going to be a good summer jam. And, you know, we'll see what happens with Drake and this Iceman album. I'm excited to hear it. I know a lot of y'all are too. Y'all tell me what y'all thought about Rory and Mal speaking on What Did I Miss? And it's a few days later. Are y'all still feeling What Did I Miss? Let me know in the comments. Like the video and subscribe. I'll see y'all next time. Peace.